and Minister Scindia to Fraunhofer last year. And we are delighted to note that many of the activities that were outlined in the MOU have already kick-started. So I think to that extent, it's fantastic that Dr. Upadhyay is here today and will share with us his ideas on where an Indo-German collaboration in innovation and AI can have a value proposition for both countries. I'm also delighted to have my own colleague, Dr. Thomas Kuhn, who's come all the way from Germany from the Fraunhofer Institute of Experimental Software. He will be sharing some of our experiences and competencies in AI, particularly with focus on workplace changing, which is, of course, one of the biggest topics we have today, but also manufacturing, agriculture, and health. And I think one of the key topics that Fraunhofer can present to the Indian audience is data space. We have created a secure data space in the cloud for many years where challenges from industries are brought in and discussed. So you will hear a lot from him. I'm particularly delighted that 4 Bangalorean CEOs are here today. We have with us Sindhu Gangadharan, who needs no introduction. I think everyone knows her, and who doesn't know is coming under a stone. So uh, we also have Anshuman Avasthi, CTO of Mercedes-Benz Research and Development Center in Bangalore. And we have Dattatri Salgame from Robert Bosch Software Solutions. And of course, Prashant, he's sitting at the back, Doraiswamy from Avonio, which was earlier Continental. So as you can see, a power-packed industry captain session, which will follow after the panel. And last but not the least, we have Murli Nayar from Bertelsmann Stiftung, which is a think tank which has been producing a lot of knowledge papers around India and Germany, and actually positioning India as a positive partner for Germany long before Germany even started looking at us so seriously. So thank you for that, Murli. I'm standing here in front of you today as the head of Fraunhofer in India for the last 18 years. Extremely proud that Fraunhofer is one of the largest applied research ecosystems in the world. We have 76 institutes in Germany. We are present in more than 80 countries. We produce 2 patents for every working day. We are also the inventors of the MP3, white LEDs, and many such inventions. But what really singles us out in this innovation corridor is the fact that we take research from lab to the market in the shortest period of time. So this is an area where India really needs support, and we are delighted that we were one of the first movers coming into India 18 years ago. And even today, there are very few international R&D organizations that are active in India. We have been earning more than 70 million euros in the last 10 years from research contracts with Indian industry, government, and research organizations. And we have an absolutely amazing network of partners in India, including organizations like CDOT, but also with Indian industry, which is really gearing up for innovation. So I think we came in at the right time. And took advantage of this, innovation trajectory that has picked up in India, and it's exciting to see what's unfolding before us. I have to say that today what we are bringing together is really a thought-provoking session. We only have 15 minutes, so I would like to get on with business immediately. And we hope that some of the thoughts that we are leaving behind with you today will resonate and will actually trigger a long-term dialogue and engagement so that we can take the Indo-German innovation collaboration to greater heights. I would now like to invite Mr. Georg Ensweiler to kindly deliver his special address.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Dear Ananda Minister Sinemus, I don't know whether it's maybe that we are just as crazy as you are sometimes, that we are big fans of Fraunhofer here in India. It's always delightful to be invited by you here in India. You do amazing work here in the country. I wish, we'd have several Ananda ears here in the country to multiply your efforts. So thank you very much for the invitation. And I'm impressed by the distinguished panel of speakers today and of panelists here. All of the panelists and speakers here today are drivers of technology, and so it makes sense that you are also at the forefront of innovative AI technology. From increasing crop revenue, improving diagnostics on or minimizing errors in manufacturing, AI undoubtedly has huge potential for social and economic good. AI is predicted to contribute between 5 and 15 trillion to the global GDP by 2030 to 2033. But there are also questions, of course. How can we ensure that this growth is inclusive? How do we minimize negative effects for people and the planet? What kind of effect would this have on labor markets, for example? After all, the motto of this summit is actually welfare for all. India, for one, has ambitious goals to create massive computing infrastructure in big parts powered by green energy. Germany is investing in so-called AI lighthouses, which foster AI innovations for climate and environmental protection. Since 2020, Germany has funded over 60 projects leveraging AI for sustainability. The topics range from wildfire prevention and renewable energy to biodiversity monitoring and circular economy. Paramount that government, academia, and industry work hand in hand. By promoting research and development, creating a clear regulatory environment, and investing in the training of skilled workers, we can unlock a broader potential for AI. India shows huge potential here. It accounts for 15% of the global AI talent pool and has the highest AI skill penetration rate. In terms of research and development in AI, India ranks third in the world after the US and China. India and Germany, with a long-standing scientific partnership, are natural partners in creating solutions that are sustainable and inclusive for all. Hence, only 2 days ago, Ministers Vaishnaw and Wildberger launched the India-Germany IA Pact, a new partnership focused on implementation-driven collaboration across government, industry, research, skill development, and innovation. It will include aspects as AI for industry and manufacturing, talent, skills, and mobility, joint research, innovation and infrastructure, and overall AI for social good. So I very much look forward to the discussion of today's session, that it can give food for thought on this most relevant topic. Thank you again for the invitation, and I wish all of us an interesting discussion on many of these pertinent topics. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words, Mr. Ensweiler. We now have the pleasure of hearing Dr. Thomas Kuhn, who heads the Division of Embedded Systems in Fraunhofer IESE. As you all know, we talk artificial intelligence. In Fraunhofer, we call it augmented intelligence, which means that human intelligence is still at the core of what we're talking in terms of AI. It's a pleasure to bring Dr. Thomas Kuhn to India. The floor is all yours.
Yes, thank you for inviting me. Yeah, what is Fraunhofer doing in the field of AI? You all know AI is on one hand large language models, mostly driven by the US. We have huge open source models coming from China. So what is Fraunhofer contributing? And our goal is to bridge industry and academia to support to support the industry in creating new products and bringing ideas into practice. And I've chosen here a few highlights on what we can do as Fraunhofer. So, for example, when you speak about AI, the question is how reliable is the result of AI? Do you get reliable information? That's one topic, trustworthiness. How can we achieve trustworthy responses? That's something that Fraunhofer is researching on. For sustainable growth, it's also very important to preserve knowledge that is available in the company, especially if people retire. A lot of small and medium-sized enterprises have exactly this problem that knowledge is leaving and you cannot get this knowledge back because the new employees simply don't have this knowledge anymore. So how can you preserve knowledge? We call this industrial AI, so bringing AI models into practice, creating specific, specialized AI models based on company data, based on sensitive data, not personal data of persons, but sensitive data for business, sensitive data for companies so that they can support these companies with these needs, that the AI, for example, creates a colleague that is an expert for a specific device and that can help humans to work more efficiently with this device. And last but not least, as my colleague already did introduce, data spaces are key technology for that, because for AI, we need to be able to train AI, and therefore we need a reliable access to data and a way to share data, but based on rules. And that's what data spaces are meant for. With Fraunhofer, we have the ability to instantiate data spaces that scale up to 10,000 transactions per second, and that's quite a lot. So Fraunhofer is structured into alliances, and the most important one is the Big Data and the Artificial Intelligence Alliance. So we have more than 30 institutes that team up in creating AI strategies, each institute with its own field of competence, but all of us support best practices, studies, expert opinions, and we support all companies in creating new solutions. And as you can see, we have a lot of fields that our institutes are working on: life sciences, healthcare when it comes to diagnostics, to personalized medication, logistics and mobility for optimizing supply chains, making them more resilient, production and industry 4.0, very important. We also need to keep production in Europe to remain resilient. So it must be economic to produce in Europe. Energy and environment, renewable energies, smart grids, self-managing grids. That's very important topics also for AI and big data, business and finance, security, to make sure that our data is well protected. I cannot go into detail for all of these topics, so we've collected a few samples on what we are doing, from embedded AI, image analysis, collaborative transport, cancer diagnostics, swarm intelligence, of course also defense topics. I cannot go too much into detail here, but AI has a huge impact. And while the race regarding general purpose LLMs is not our race, the applications that can be created with AI, the transformation of industry, that is very well our mission, to bring AI to use for industry. and therefore also to use for all. And then we are back at the topic of this event here, welfare for all and happiness for all, because every industrial revolution in the end did yield much more wealthiness for everybody. I have brought some highlights, and I promise I won't go into details here, no worries. So the virtual colleague is one thing that is important when people leave companies. We have expert knowledge, we have experience, and this is very hard to preserve. So just imagine a virtual colleague that follows the people in the field, that learns from them, and that keeps the knowledge in the company once this person leaves, so that the company knowledge is retained. That's one project that Fraunhofer is doing in the field of AI to support industry and also smaller and medium-sized industries. Trustworthiness, that's very important. We all know that AI is not perfect, and probably some of you have already tweaked the AI maybe a little bit on purpose to see, okay, how far can I go with that? AI basically is stupid. It has a lot of knowledge, but it has no understanding of that. Trustworthy AI means we observe, for example, the field of use for a specific AI model and track whether we are leaving this field. We have an uncertainty wrapper that gives you, with each response of the AI, an uncertainty value that says, okay, how trustworthy is this particular response? And that's very important when we want to apply AI also in safety-relevant environments for medical diagnostics, for image recognition, and also in traffic. That's very important then to know how safe is the assumption of the AI here. Federated AI training is very important when we want to work together. For example, a robot that can grab something that every human can do, grab into a box and take something out. For a robot, that's a very big challenge. We can train robots to do that, but it's much more effective when we can do a federated training, when everybody can contribute data, and in the end we receive one model, but one model where you cannot derive any sensitive data back because nobody wants to share. So nobody wants to share their secrets. So that's where that's what data spaces are meant for. We share data based on rules. We can provide data just for training of AI. Nobody will see the raw data for that. We just use it for training of AI. And here Fraunhofer is researching both governance policies and efficient implementations of cross-company data spaces. So that's my pitch, my motivation. I hope I was able to give you some ideas, some insights in what we can do with AI besides of OpenAI. I think Sam Altman is not here, so I can say that. They're doing great things, but there are also great things that can be done in addition to that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Thomas. This was just an appetizer, as you know, we have very limited time, but anybody who's interested can visit our stand, where we've also demonstrated some of the use cases in AI and agriculture, and also in AI and medicine and AI in manufacturing. You're welcome to visit us at the German Pavilion. I would now like to invite the CEO of Center for Development of Telematics to share a few thoughts on where India and Germany can work together. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Anandi. Honorable Minister, ma'am, policymakers, industry leaders, experts. It's an honor to address this forum at a time when artificial intelligence is reshaping global economies and governance architectures. Today it's not merely a technological shift because AI is quite pervasive. It is being applied to almost all the sectors, and where it is not applied, it will be applied sooner or later. because it underpins the competitiveness, productivity, and societal resilience. And for India and Germany together, Germany being the precision engineering expert, for years, and India bringing the scale, I think there is a very good way that India and Germany work together and align the how the AI is taken forward in a very responsible, ethical way, so that not only it helps us economic progress, but also meets the social good challenges. As we know, India's AI system is quite vibrant, ranking third globally for its competitiveness and developer activities. Our AI mission is already investing more than $2 billion. We have given to our startups 38,000 GPUs, and this will be further increased. It could bring 1.7 trillion value to India's economy by 2035. And the tech sector particularly is projected to contribute $280 billion revenue this year itself. Germany's AI market is also rapidly expanding, driven by strong industrial integration, particularly in manufacturing and substantial public-private investment. Germany's AI market is expected to be nearly 30 billion euros by 2030. I read that there are 600, more than 600 startups in Germany, and we also have lot many startups. I think together, how the startup ecosystem could work together for the benefit of not only both the countries for bringing global good to this sector. So there is a need for a win and win situation for India and Germany, partnership between two great countries, given our diplomatic relations, given the, as I said, the precision engineering which Germany is famous, and the scale what we bring in India. I think there are many areas where we can contribute, but I thought I'll focus on two, three. One, I think it was mentioned in smart manufacturing. Germany's leadership in Industry 4.0 and India's expanding manufacturing. I think this government has invested heavily on the manufacturing under various schemes like PLI and DLI schemes, and it is going to go forward. And therefore, how do we use AI in smart manufacturing? We would like to work with Germany in terms of developing smart manufacturing standards, cross-border industrial data flows, and safeguards, AI-enabled energy efficiency. And since we arrived late in this manufacturing space, a lot of our manufacturing plants are actually started using AI. In fact, recently there was a science event, ESTIC, wherein the Tata's presented how they are going to bring down the cost using AI in manufacturing. The second point I think Anandi brought up for agriculture. I think Fraunhofer is already working in India for agriculture, and agriculture being one of the key part of our economy, the service sector and the economy, agriculture sector. I think it also makes us a good partner for how do we improve the productivity, the yield, the income for farmers, the efficiency gain, productivity gain, and that will be another area we can work together. Um, I would also like to say that especially given the economic progress we are making, and we see a lot of challenges coming from the cyber security area. We get millions of attacks in our country, millions of attacks, and I'm not sure what is happening in that part. So therefore, AI in cyber security is very, very important, which we use to some extent, and we would like to learn from Germany, whatever, and we would like to share these what we are doing, how we are using AI to come to a pattern, because the kind of data flow. For example, India, we receive data rate at 10 terabyte per second. 10 terabyte per second is the data rate. And how do you process this data in real time and be able to tell that how and where the attacks are happening? As far as the CDOT is concerned, we work in various areas. I don't know, some of you may be aware. I would like to place it on record that India made its own 4G and 5G, and it was launched by Honorable Prime Minister in September 25. And this was a journey we took alone.
for 6G, we would like this journey to be together with the world, because we were actually lagging behind. We never developed 1G, 2G, 3G. Suddenly, our honorable Prime Minister said, you 4G and 5G, and we did in 2, 3 years, and it is launched today, serving close to 170,000 base stations are radiating, generating a data rate of 5 petabyte, and will grow further. So 5G, 6G is one area. The second area is quantum, because as all we know, many of the leading economies have put a sunset date to the current level of encryptions, which will be broken because of the quantum computers, and therefore there is a need to work on quantum together. We, particularly in CDOT, we work only in quantum communication. In fact, I am the chair of the National Quantum Communication Hub along with IIT Madras. We fund a lot of research into quantum to startups. So this could be another area where we could work together. The third thing is, I'm not aware what kind of frauds happen in Germany, or happen or don't happen in India. There were, you know, there were a series of frauds, cyber fraud calls, or this type of calls. So we developed the system at India scale and are successful today in blocking. For example, I'm just giving example of, we used to get 1 million regular international calls, and we were getting 15 million spoofed calls, 15 million spoofed calls per day. And at my gateway, in 5 milliseconds, I have to decide whether this call is a real call or spoof call. Today, we have deployed the system in India, which in 5 millisecond tells you this is a spoof call, drop it, and this is a real call, send it. So at India scale, we have developed a platform called sancharsathi.gov.in. I don't know how many of you are aware. This is again a digital intelligence platform. One side is exposed to the customers as the citizens, and the back it is connected to all kind of stakeholders. Because what used to happen, if as telecom I have declared one, let me first check time also. Yeah, I think it's happening. So one is that, if in telecom I have said this number is fraudulent, bank doesn't know, police doesn't know. So what we did, we integrated all of these stakeholders in one single platform, what we called digital intelligence platform. Once I declare this number to be a fraudulent number for any reason, it is flagged in bank, police, everywhere, so that everybody takes care. Today, when the actual financial transactions happen between A to B, there is a module which we have developed called FRI, Financial Risk Indicator. Before the money is transferred, the bank dips to the database and says this money is going to be, is it safe? So my system tells, no, it is not safe. This guy is not a safe guy. So the transaction is stopped. So we have done the fraud management at scale. We would like to, work with Germany to further enhance it and how to use AI into this. And going forward, I would only say my time is over. AI should not widen inequalities. It should strengthen inclusion, productivity, and resilience. Let us ensure AI becomes a pillar of sustainable economic growth and social good. As Anandi said, we already have an MOU with Fraunhofer, which we are working together. I would be very happy that, if this partnership goes much beyond, and we together, going forward, given the geopolitical changes happening, going forward together, we go and develop the technologies together for the wider social good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Upadhyay. I can only underscore that it has been an absolute privilege working with you. And it is not something where German technology is being given to CDOT, but we are actually co-creating. There are India-specific challenges for which teams from CDOT who are extremely qualified and they have amazing infrastructure. I would really appreciate at some point, Dr. Upadhyay, some of our German delegates, maybe not this time, but next time, come and see the kind of work you're doing, because I think that brings a different level of understanding, insight, and trust. Without wasting any time, I'm sure all of you are waiting to listen to Professor Dr. Sinimus. We had her yesterday, and I must tell you that it's really amazing to see, first of all, a woman as the head of innovation and digitalization in Germany. And secondly, somebody who has really a lot of deep insights, like in the last 2 times that I've heard you, ma'am, you really bring to the table. So the floor is yours.
That's not easy from the technical point of view here. So thank you. Thank you, Anandi Aya. I'm really a fan not only of you and women who are leading in such a kind as you do it and others here. I'm a fan of Fraunhofer as well. Because, as you already pointed out, they try to get the lag between research and then bringing it really to society and to economic growth. And at the end of the day, I'm coming out of the biotechnology area, and I think we really have lost a lot of chances in coming from the research, really bringing to economic growth. And I think AI has the opportunity, and as well quantum, as you mentioned, to do this. And dear excellencies and gentlemen, ladies, it is a great honor for me to deliver a special address. I never have given a special address and try to hit this at this Indo-Germanian Innovation and Technology Forum. I'm coming out of a region where we are working together and strongly together with Fraunhofer. Even in my hometown, we have two, and one of this is the Fraunhofer cyber security, where we have based the digital hub of cyber security as well. So we build up a startup ecosystem in the area on the interface of cybersecurity and digital and AI. So maybe this could be an anchor point afterwards. As Minister for Digitalization and Innovation, I very much welcome the opportunity to discuss how we can turn AI into concrete public value in manufacturing, in agriculture, in healthcare, and through trustworthy AI, as Thomas Kuhn has pointed it out. The AI Summit all is about AI, and we see how dynamic the process is going on. AI is already transforming how we produce, how we heal, how we grow food, and how we govern. And the key question, therefore, is not if AI will shape our society, the question is how. And whether economic development and social good move forward together rather than separate directions. And looking at the dynamic AI is going forward, we really have to be careful that we balance these economic development and the social part. And I think this is something which has to do with trustful or trust as well. Even my region developed a clear strategy, and our digital strategy and AI strategy are based on a simple but I hope for demanding principle. That is, technology must serve people, not the other way around. Our AI Made in Hessen agenda combines innovation with responsibility. And we want AI that strengthens competitiveness, but also social coherence, fairness, and trust. And this is the way we invest not only in research and infrastructure, but also in practical projects that deliver tangible benefits for citizens and business. So we have a funding program, it's over 60 billion, and we invest in people who have a vision in how AI can benefit human. So we invest in 170 startups till now. And I want to give you some examples so that you get an idea. And I start with healthcare, because healthcare is one of the most promising fields where AI for social good. We support innovative projects that would be very difficult to realize without our public backing. And we fund, for instance, one project, it's called DEMO. And DEMO, it's not DEMO, it's DEMO. And it's a small group, three who are working on PhD at the Technical University of Darmstadt, my alma mater, and I was happy to give them 1.8 million euro because they are developing a load-bearing robotic wheelchair, essentially a walking robot that can safely and autonomously overcome barriers such as stairs or uneven ground using advanced robotics and AI. This project will have for the people with mobility impairments, that is no science fiction, it is a difference between dependence and independence participation on everyday life. And I think that is really a good example how we invest our funds. Another example is risk stratification in cardiology using AI. The goal is build a clinic decision support system that analyzes patterns in ECG recordings with AI and detects cardiovascular diseases at an early stage. So you can go through prevention. That are two of a lot of AI and healthcare startups we are giving our funds in. And a second field I would like to highlight is agriculture. Even for India, agriculture is a very important area and which is a crucial pillar of economic development and food security. Again, we support a project, and there is only one of a lot, on the early detection of plant diseases. Using automated analysis of satellite data, so we even connected with the space, AI models can recognize signs of plant stress and disease at every early stage of growth cycles. So you can really reduce pesticides and analyze before the plant disease occurs. AI can, at the end of the day, make agriculture more sustainable and more productive at the same time. And I think this is something where we have to go through. Another example in our strategic agenda in the future of AI is that we set up an AI innovation lab at Hessian AI, co-funded by my ministry, and we provide a high-performance computing environment specifically for AI applications, along with advisory services for science, business, and public administration. So this is a particular focus in the startup and SME. We want to enable smaller players to develop innovation AI solutions, and we want to be, at the end of the day, in a position that trustworthy AI is not a slogan, but a practical challenge. And this is why we established an AI quality and testing hub in Hesse, a public-private company that develops methods and tools to test AI systems. So at the end of the day, the aim is to translate the idea of trustworthy AI into testable criteria and practical producers that business can use real deployments. So you can say that is trustful AI, and we give it as a trustworthy criteria. At the end of the day, I think, looking on the discussions we have had in the last days, that the Indo-German dimension is particularly important. India has shown with initiatives like ADA, UPI, and India Stack how digital public infrastructure can scale and enable innovation at massive levels. Germany can bring expertise in regulation, not too much, data protection, and quality assurance. Together we can build bridges between scale and safeguard, between innovation and rights, between economy development and social good, because we are thinking grounded on the same values, democratic values. And let me close with a conviction that guides our work. AI will not automatically lead to better outcomes. It depends on the choices we make. What we fund, how we regulate, which ecosystems we build, and whom we include. So let us proceed on our democratic values and go forward with the Indian-German collaboration in AI. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Cinemas. It was really a thought-provoking and a very concrete talk on what we can do with AI. There's the scope for Indo-German collaboration. Without much ado, let me take forward what we on the topics that you have mentioned by inviting the four CEOs to please come on stage. Can I request Datatri, Sindhu, Anshuman, and Prashant to kindly come up? I don't know where there is. Yeah, this needs to be. We have a few minutes to really get into the topics, and I would like to just start by very quickly saying that in the last few days, I've attended quite a few of the sessions here, and there are so many nomenclatures for AI. It's been defined as a transformational technology that comes once in several years. People gave examples of the steam engine and of the internet revelation and industry 4.0, which dramatically changed the way we live and work. We are now hiding an AI transformation, but complete with anxiety, with speculations, with admiration, but also with excitement. So let me take the audience through to what makes a CEO stay up at night. And let me start with Datatri. Bosch has been a pioneer in India. You came here a century ago and you've stayed on resilience in the Indian market, which has not always been very easy. And you cover a lot of base spanning across manufacturing, software, medical, and many more sectors. How does the vision board of Bosch read in terms of the AI development and the deployment?
Maybe the first question, what keeps me awake in the night? The fact that you are 100-year-old, and if you are 100-year-old, the effort that you make change is also higher. So that keeps me awake at night. As Bosch, I think we are working on two sides of it. So one side, if you see, we're deploying AI into the market. If you see the autonomous driving, AI cockpit, or AI in healthcare. So these are our products which go into the market. So fundamentally, we are, navigating a new business model, new behavior of consumer, and developing our products for that. On the other side, now we are using AI to disrupt long-held beliefs of how we build software, how we do engineering. So this is massive. While we are huge excitement to position our AI-centric products in the market, I would be dishonest if I say we don't have anxiety how to get over the paradigm shift of engineering and software development using AI. So these are the two edges at which we are operating now.
Thanks so much. Sindhu, let me come to you. You are the world's leader in enterprise application software. One time, I remember you telling me that 97% of companies worldwide use SAP. It is already embedded in your workflows even before people are talking and wondering how to go about it. But how do you see, you have a responsibility because you have a captive client base. How do you see these innovative technologies being rolled out to companies while they still have anxieties about their business? And how do you go about assuaging those fears and building in a model that works on layers that are already set and, like he said, very difficult to move right now in retrospect?
Well, first of all, Anand, it's great to be here. Absolute honor to be amongst this very distinguished panelists and you and all the previous speakers who are on stage. Yeah, I think, like Datari said, we live in very times which are changing, particularly in technology, right? I mean, literally every day you have to open up and see what is the new LLM that's out there, right? So that's the way and which we are navigating. So in that sense, this is also the assurance when we are talking about we create the world's largest enterprise application portfolio from SAP. It's a lot of trust that our customers place on us. Many of them sitting right here at this table actually on. And so when we say 87% of the world's business commerce touches an SAP system, it's a matter of a lot of responsibility and a lot of trust, which we continue to take forward given we serve 26 industries and across 12 portfolios that we have, right? But at the same time, given the pace at which technology is changing, our responsibility also from an AI perspective is embedding AI across the core of our business processes. So if you take a process like a lead to cash or a total workforce management or a design to upgrade, strategic sourcing or procurement, this is what we assure our customers that when you have SAP, you run at your best, you run in the most compliant, in the most ethical, in the most responsible manner, right? And so that we center upon to make sure and protect that so the choice, we give customers also the choice to run in a secure manner, in a compliant manner, in an ethical manner, and in a responsible manner, and which means also translating, I think we heard it from several of our speakers, responsible AI. You need to be able to explain how to this decision that you're making or asking the user to make, giving that explainability, the transparency, the fairness of that decision making, auditability, right? And that becomes even more important because today, when we're talking about agentic AI, we're talking about autonomous workflows where a lot of that decision making, yes, the human is in the loop, but parts of the workflow are completely autonomous, right? And so that's a lot of the work. That's what's keeping us busy at night and mornings, I would say, and really making sure that when we say customers can run at their best in a compliant, in a secure, in a responsible manner, how do we make sure that AI, together with all the research that we're working on, still place the core of our portfolio for customers to run in a safe manner?
Whether you're up at night or not, you're certainly on your toes. One person who's been up at night for several months now, and I can personally vouch for this, Prashant. Continental is now Avomio. It has not only changed in name, but also in terms of its core processes, some of its business sectors. Absolutely. So innovation is not only in the name, it's also what you do. What is Avomio now up to and what is happening?
First of all, thank you, Anandi, for having me here. I'm sure all the panelists agree. I think in India, we have moved from support ops to center of excellence. I think at Avomio, we're focusing on two things. One is certainly the value creation for our customers, for the organization, for the stakeholders. And the second is customer-centric innovation. Just to let you know, just 1 year, I think we've been able to gain efficiency improvement in R&D in excess of 20%. How did we do this? Actually, there's a cool, I think we do with one strength and core technology, be it in the plants in terms of how do we enhance the quality using AI, be it in terms of, when you product electronic products, there's always a lot of false calls, which requires a lot of efforts for you to redo that. So that's where the implementation of AI in terms of enhancing the quality. And the second is certainly driven development. I think using the GitHub, what that I was talking about, where you use this for base coding and also for developing different test scenarios and a test situation. So these are the things what we are really focusing on. One, as I said, how do we really enhance the velocity in engineering and R&D? We're using this automated technology. And also we introduce something called RigNet. In automotive, the biggest challenge today with so much of complexity of technology is coming with the requirements, because always you leave one or two, which is very, very important. Like how do you really enhance this in terms of the requirement? And second is certainly in terms of agentic AI, which is used in the enterprise in the support function like finance, controlling, or be it the market analytics. Yeah, so this helps us in giving a very good summary for the leadership to take decision based on the data. And third is certainly on the what we call the product innovations, and we have a marketplace here in the German stand where we have displayed, which was developed corely here in India, one on the autonomous mobility, which is called enhanced night vision, where we've been able to, with the use of AI, enhance really the vision, the camera vision in the night for easier detection. And the second is something called e-travel companion, where you seamlessly interact with the vehicle. And the third is access, like our driver will seamless access with the car. These are the three which was developed innovations which is displayed in the German stand as well. So in summary, I think we continue to drive, make use of AI, what we call from our previous to a seamless integration into the corporation.
Thank you so much, Prashant. Let me go to Mercedes. Mercedes-Benz is a North Star in innovation. I mean, you've been around several decades. It's also been a very competitive environment in manufacturing, which a lot of people say that Germany has lost its edge. But it's an old school field. So how do you bring in AI into the settled kind of operations, which is reflected in your standardized operations and very I said old school procedures. Is it challenging to get AI into it now?
Good morning, everybody, and thank you, Andy, for having me here. Yes, Mercedes Benz has been one of the most innovative companies, and we plan to remain that way. Past 140 years and maybe next many 100 years. AI as a technology is not a challenge. We don't see any technology as a challenge, and we have been using it. I think, if I'm not wrong, Mercedes-Benz was the first automotive company to bring AI into the cars in 2019 itself. So if you have been driving cars from 2019, you must have experienced AI there itself. Today, our focus is multi-fold. For example, we want to offer technology to our customers. That means you drive the car and you experience AI in the car, the way car behaves, the way you interact with the car, etc. And the way products are behaving, that you can see it. And the second part that we also are using AI and planning to use is that we tighten our operations using AI. We want to bring operational efficiency using AI, and many things happening. Agentic is one such thing. We trying to evaluate or implement how it can bring benefit to all of us. So, yes, I mean, AI as a technology is very exciting because sometimes you feel that it's making so many things redundant. I think that's now and then has done the same thing and same impact. So we're looking forward to going ahead with this and using it.
And of course, MBRDI in Bangalore is playing a very big role into this process.
Yes, it is. The 19 application was largely developed in India, Bangalore Center, by our AI experts back then. Yeah.
And in fact, I've heard Manu say that every Mercedes-Benz today has one component or one application coming in from your Bangalore outfit, which is fantastic to do.
The same goes with Bangalore. Some bit of India.
Yeah, we have another 5 minutes, and I'd like to use this for a rapid fire round, talking about India. So, we've always heard about the big combination of manufacturing excellence in Germany, engineering, scale and speed in India. Let me ask Dattatri, is this heightened German interest in India, is it offensive or defensive given the?
Yeah, I would say it was long overdue. I think given the capabilities of the two countries and the common ethos that we share, for reasons unknown, we played it very low, while many others played it significantly high. So I think now we can collaborate on many dimensions, not just the precision engineering of Germany, much more than that. Because the pragmatic approach Germany brings in to solve problems from the first principles is what is required now. Because we are in a phase where we have to cut the noise of AI and to marry the substance of AI. So for this, I think we all know in this room the pragmatism of Germany, how we can bring in together. So it's an opportunity that I see.
Thank you. That's very diplomatically put. Silvio, I come to you. You have just inaugurated a huge campus and you have ambitions of taking more than 15,000 people. The controversial question that I'd like to put to you is, they say that the cost arbitrage is 4:1. That is, for one German, you can get 4 Indians in India. Not anymore. Not anymore. I will not answer the question because this value arbitrage, they say, is just the opposite, right? So we are looking at a demographic dividend in India, but there is a huge aspect of inclusion, productivity, skilling, reskilling. How does that play into your vision for India?
You started off by talking about the new campus, right? And if we were talking only from a cost arbitrage point of view, campus, right? So that and I think we just had Chancellor Merz coming to your campus as well, and right, looking at India as a cost arbitrage is I think many of my hats onto the red. I don't see it in any of those conversations. Let's not be today when you look at you mentioned GitHub Copilot, and if I just look at Cloud Code, the latest opus that we have, the speed at which you can do things is of course changing, but what it means also is experts can focus on high value focus areas, right? And high value domain use cases. And this is the beauty of the pace at which innovation is going. And this is also why companies like SAP or anybody else here in this table are invested in India, because we want to bring the best of countries and we serve customers all over the world. So we really want to bring the best, and the pace at which our people here in India are able to take forward, understand the context, drive forward things, drive the product leadership, creation of IP. It's the change we are talking about. And that is why we are all so bullish on driving this kind of innovation power from India for the world.
Thank you, Sindhu. I have actually 2 more provocative questions for my other 2, but due to the paucity of time, we'll have to take a break because we still have Murali talking about his study. But I think the fact is clear that India opportunity have Indian journals an opportunity like never before. It's an inflection point. It is an opportunity for co-creation and working together in a very, like Mr. said, with shared values, with a very clear agenda. And I thank you all for being here and for sharing your thoughts. And can we have Murali quickly come and talk about your study, please? Because we just have 2 minutes and we have to close. And quickly come.
Sure.
Okay, just escape. Just stay. Take a seat.
And 2 minutes, I have no idea I'm going to go through this, but it's great to be here. 2018, we launched the industry